Hi, Dame Vera. Good to see you on the programme this morning. Tell us about your investigations so far.
Well, contrary to it just starting with the 3 that you so well unearthed, we now have increasing numbers of people complaining about their treatment. They are mostly women. The inquiry set up was about women, but men have started to come, and of course they must come, and I want them to feel entirely empowered to do exactly that. We are probably into double figures of people already without having made a particular effort to promote this. So the sense is that there is a problem that needs tackling, that needs investigating. I have absolutely no fear to get to the roots of what's happening here. That story about Scarlett really appalled me this morning. I heard Maggie Oliver say that I was visibly shocked. She wasn't there, but I don't know how her mind reading works, but she is right. I was very shocked by that. And I'm glad that the officer from the PSB, the area in Greater Manchester Police that investigates misconduct amongst police, thought that she had not had the treatment she deserved. But frankly, I think that was an unlawful strip search at this stage. Completely cannot see how it can be justified. And in many of these cases, we are, I suspect, going to be on the border of lawfulness and unlawfulness. And we are definitely talking about power and whether it's being abused to the pain of people who are not in a position to speak out for themselves and need a voice, which I hope I can help give them. But also people who, would be afraid of complaining about the police openly anyway. So we will, I think, not only have those who are ready to come forward, put their name to what they say, but I think that we will have a lot of other complaints coming from women's organizations. We had We Are a Survivor, a man's organization with us yesterday, bringing somebody along. I suspect that we will have a lot of complaints too, where people are too afraid themselves to come forward, but have told a detailed and therefore relatively believable story to a really respected charity, and they will pass on the information. Obviously, what I must do then, and I am doing, is require all the documents in each and every case from Greater Manchester Police and look at them to see where on I suppose the measures of decency, appropriateness, lawfulness, appropriate use of power, where these lie. So there's yet a lot to do. And I mean, all credit to Sky for starting this off. I echo what Maggie Oliver said too, which is that some of these women, in particular your first group, have been trying to get justice for a long time and they haven't succeeded. And it does call into question the complaints process and how it works as well. And I specifically got the terms of reference for my inquiry widened so that I can look at that complaints process too, and I will do that.
What are you going to do about corrupted files?
Yes, good question. That is a real worry. What I'm pleased about is that the inquiry into those files, so I mean, I know the story, it's definitely a worry that the mayor himself, in charge of the police, the very person that you must be frank and full in your account about if you're a police officer, has been told that they'd inspected and there's no wrongdoing in Zaina's case. And then we find that actually the files are inaccessible at present. But what I'm cheered by is that the Independent Office of Police Conduct, although I know people have a lot of reservations about it, at least it's not GMP. They've got the responsibility now for checking these servers at this police station. It isn't just one woman whose documents are said to have gone missing on those servers. It is at least the other 2 who you first started with, but I suspect there are more. So that really has got to the bottom of it. And if it's at all possible, I would really urge Greater Manchester Police to find those files, to find that time of Zaina's filming. If it is any way possible, using the best expertise there is. At the moment, I heard the minister talk about rogue officers. This is not about rogue officers. There will be some rogue officers, but it's about, was a system going wrong? If there were rogue officers, were they being covered up? And is this part of it? So a piece of film which showed something appalling happening, for instance, to the young woman you've spoken to today, or to Zaina, as she believes it did, that will be a real serious issue for the police. But if they were to be covering it up, it would be a huge issue for the entire police force, going right to the very top.
OK, so we'll have to wait and see what happens as far as that is concerned, and you've definitely got them under the spotlight on that one. Yeah, just let me take you back to a comment you made a little bit earlier on as part of the interview. You talked about the border between justice and injustice. Could you envisage a situation where we see members of a Greater Manchester Police, either past or present, in the dock?
I think it's too early for me to comment about that. Clearly, if Zaina's allegations are right, which are not in my inquiry, because Zaina won't, and I do invite her to reconsider, but she won't give me the trust to come and talk to me. So she's putting her trust, it seems, in the IOPC, in that if she's putting her trust in anyone at all. But clearly, that's a criminal investigation.
OK. It's good to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time. It's quite the process that you need to go through. Do keep us up to date as and when you can. Thank you.
Thanks.